Welcome to Department of Information Science, the information session. My name is Yunfei. I'm the interim chair and professor of library science, and then also I serve another role as the associate dean for academics in the College of Information. So today I just want to use this opportunity to introduce ourselves and to tell you a little bit about our program, our faculty, and most importantly, just want to know you guys. And feel free to pop in any questions. And yeah, any interruption is fine. I understand this is, for many of you, already know us, and that's great. You get your degree from UNT, but for many, if you are from another university and if you're from another region and location, and I have to brag about our UNT. UNT is the fourth largest in Texas, with more than 46,000 students from 144 countries and 49 states. That's what I got official. We have, I believe it's 144 bachelor's degree now. And actually recently, I'm talking about yesterday, the University Undergraduate Council approved. So we are still waiting for, we'll do next step. There's a new undergraduate degree on health informatics at Department of Information Science. So soon we'll be 115.5. So, and of course, we all know UNT is currently Tier 1 research university and is ranked multiple programs, ranked, for example, by Best in West, and a lot of programs ranked by US News and World Report. And before continue, I want to tell you about our college. So this is the Dean Kinshuk, and this is his research interest. And yeah, he has so-called the open door policy. So if you have any questions or concerns, and feel free. I'm one of his team, and my colleague, Dr. Sharad Sharma, and he is the research associate dean. So we work as a great team. And so yeah, just want to feel free to pop in if you have any questions and concerns. And Department of Information, this is probably old slides, but we are one of the I schools. So we ranked the top 20, and there's only 25 so-called iSchool caucus programs. So within iSchool caucus program, you have to have a PhD and you have to have endowment or research dollar of $1 million. Yeah, that's like we definitely exceeded. Of course, you have ALA accredited master's program. So I believe many of you are probably interested in this. Yeah, we have probably every year we have $1 million from Institute of Museum Library Services only. And that means our faculty engage in research, and many of the funded programs also fund students. So yeah, track the research news. And many times, like myself, I work with Dr. Anna Roshley, and then our colleagues from College of Visual Art and Design, CVAD. We have a program, for example, called the LAMP project. So we are actively looking for fellowship. And so here, there's some free money they wrote in their program. So want you to be part of the program. So yeah, I want to just show some names, and of course I put my name over there, but we also have Associate Chair Dr. Sarah Ryan, and then I also want to list Dr. Xin Wang in the program. So understand this is a graduate program, so more like a graduate preview for you, but we do have a very strong and fast-growing undergraduate program. And also for undergraduate, we also have so-called grad track program. So if you are currently undergraduate and you're looking to make use of your last year and take graduate courses, and then use those graduate courses to count toward a master's degree. So this is the information over here, and then Dr. Wang is a person to talk to. So I have some stats, but this is a little bit too old. So beginning fall 2020, spring 2025, data science, Master of Data Science, BS in Data Science has already so standalone as a new department. So congratulations to them. They received a $3 million endowment from graduates from Dr. Vika Sinha. Actually was a PhD graduate from the Department of Information Science, excellent PhD program, so honorary PhD program. So he graduated, he works for industry, and many of you are probably interested in working for industry one day. So, so he made the endowment. Currently, for that Department of Information Science, we have 21 full-time faculty and about 58 adjunct faculty. And we also have funded student assistants. Last fall is 87, so including both data science and information science. So, so these students, 87 students are either 20-hour TA, RA, and all funded by projects and or helping a class. So these are the how they. Oh, since I mentioned the scholarship, I think it's very important for us to find other ways to fund our own research and or degrees, right? So we have about 28 different scholarships in 2023, 24, 25. The deadline just ended, so the March 1st, but it's about the same number. In next year will be 50 more, so that will be our sister department, the department data science. They have new endowment money will kick in. So these are the $1,000 scholarships. So these for you can apply every year. You go to a website called Eagle Student Portal. Many of you already know, you heard this. So that's a one-stop place you apply. So you actually, if you considering our program, you can also apply for scholarship and admission. So you can do it at the same time. So many of the scholarship also consider the incoming students. So the incoming students, like many of our students coming in the fall. So March 1st, naturally, if you apply in March, deadline March 1st, they may give you for the fall incoming student. For spring, there are a very limited student scholarship. We have one, and I'll talk to you. I give you an example that's in college level. So yeah, our faculty, huge productivity and then publications and proposals and the grants, etc. So these are just some background. So our Master of Library Science, Information Science has been continuously accredited by American Library Association since 1965. So that is very important for continuous accreditation. And our next accreditation cycle is 2028. It is very important to keep the accreditation standard. And for our students, and you have a degree that you can look for jobs in North America, and many of the jobs, when they advertise, the requirement is ALA accredited master's degree. So it doesn't matter, you can get it from Florida State, you get it from UT Austin, Texas Women's, or University North Carolina, So as long as you get an ALA accredited school, and some of you may consider, I have want to get a degree or already have a library science degree in so-called a non-accredited school. So non-accredited by ALA, and these are still have values, particularly some schools and some states does not have ALA accredited school, and then they are regionally accredited. For example, we have one schools in Texas. So these are accredited, not accredited, but these are for the school librarianship. So they kind of are recognized by the state. And so they are work for the school and school district as a school librarian. And but if you, excuse me, so if you having those kind of degrees, and if you want to move, I do know people with non-accredited, and then they actually coming to get a second one with accredited school. So and then we also celebrated our 85th anniversary, because in 1939 was the first year we formed, the UNT formed a bachelor degree at the new Department of Library Science. So now we have 85, we etch into 86. Yeah, we celebrate 35th anniversary of an interdisciplinary PhD program. The program actually was recognized in 91 or 92 by coordinating board, and then we the first group of students coming in 2000, they formally enrolled and completed the program in 95. So 94. This year in Texas Library Association in Dallas, we have our alumni reception. We're going to celebrate 100 years of a first library science course offered in 1905. The course name is Library 101. So many of you know. And then I know many of you are interested, and this session is for PhD for Masters of Library Science. So I'm just going to go overview, but I just have a couple of slides I want to pass, since some of you may consider transferring to the UNT program. So I have a BS program, Information Science, and these are the interest in them. And many of the BS program and all the student preparation, competencies, and then job potential on these are very similar to a Masters of Information Science program, which has currently we have one concentration in information systems, and so yeah, and these are the students. I'm going to put it over here. These are, I'll put it in undergraduate, that these are majority of domestic students, and that's where they're coming from. And that's our transfer program. So I'm not going to go over all this quickly. So information science, what a kind of a career opportunity. Information science, if you purely get a information science has actually one degree, MS Information Science, two concentrations in that. You can call 2 degrees, MS Library Science, MS Information Science. So both accredited by American Library Association at the same time. So it's so they accredit our MS degree. So that's I'll tell you. Some of you have jobs. They have job. We have students actually asking, I'm getting my information science, and what about the library science? And well, I'm getting library science, but also, so for many places, they do have special requirement. Recently I saw one of a job advertisement. They specifically say MLS, right? So Master of Library Science. So maybe it's a traditional library degree, place institution, or a traditional, or maybe a public library, and But so if you are looking for those places, you can feel comfortable to apply with both MLS or MSIS, MS Information Science. Yeah. But if you have MSIS, you also have another opportunity, not just for like work for libraries, but you can also work for systems, right? So you for-profit industry, for companies, you can work for UI UX, for example, user interface usability. User-centered design is very important. And so you can also look in for places like information architect, web designer, and you work for information organization. They're not just doing, not just to consider them a cataloger, so no, they also work for taxonomy, ontology. These are for computer programming, so catalog basically knowledge, the broader defined knowledge. And of course, we have a very rigorous the information science, and many of the courses cross over with the computer scientists and computer science courses. And we have data science courses, and probably the bread and butter is database management. Myself is a DBA on database administrator. And so when I was, and when I worked in a library, my job was to make, my job is called the systems librarian. And so many of you, if you're coming from science background, I highly recommend you take this kind of concentration, take a look, not because what I did before, it's just so much fun. We done a few years ago, my friend, my colleague, Barbara Schultz-Johns, and before that, Dr. Kara Simpson, they went to international trip. And I think it was Thailand one time, they went to Jamaica one time before, and they also went to Europe, anything in Ukraine before. And so it helped the small libraries or rural libraries, help them with the system building. So you can download and implement the library system like a Koha, and it's an open source library system. And then you set up the relational database. So we do have those courses like our DBM data modeling, the very popular course I tell you. So these are the, but that's the reason you have. So the sister department or area doing this, maybe in business applications is called MIS, so Management Information System. At UNT, it's called the Business Computer Information System. So these are the programs. They use the same core, like maybe we call it engine of database management, web-based data management, and web-based applications. But the core is to application domain is for all the business, finance and accounting. So these are the it's always the core knowledge is very similar. Just like in our MSIS, we also have the data science concentration. Is you still take a Python, you still take a data analytics and modeling. So you have the core knowledge is the same, but then your area is more in data management, or you data engineering, which has a computer science background, or you have the you actually may want to do visualization. And also Dr. Sharma has a lab. So we have a MSIS students working with his National Science Foundation funded project on visualization, and some of the projects doing VR, virtual reality. So if you guys are interested, virtual reality can also help you do, for example, you do a 3D library tutorial system, and you can do simulation. So yeah, so it's still MSIS, but the core knowledge is still same. You still learn organization, you still learn information management, retrieval, user interface, user design, usability, and coding. But then you can broaden your service. Yeah, so that's yeah, and some of the job more on information science, and then I'm going to focus a little bit. The question coming, I'm going to mention a little on library science. So in addition to these IT related, many of you might interested in area. For example, with the MS, LS, MSIS, you definitely can work in archival concentration. So if a major is English, language design, and history, particularly anthropology. Boy, that's like a degree perfectly for you. I don't have slides over there, but because I do work with this. So UNT example, you have rare books connection, and UT Arlington Library, there is a museum in it. And for the museum study is actually like extremely interesting. I recently working on a 3D model. So so of course you need you can take and you should looking at the places like a museum and then user education. So basically you are the front educator. You tell the customer and you teach them. So that's more like a learning. And so in library, we'll call it information literacy and data literacy program. So and UNT Greg Harden is the information literacy specialist. Actually, he's a coordinator of information literacy programs. So if you're interested in teaching, customer service, archival, museums, and also another area is very interesting is the digital archive. So digital archive is in a fast growing area. We have one time I was doing face-to-face orientation. We have about 1/3 of students standing up interested in digital archive. And also, I think the more and more these days, one interesting area is like a genealogy, right? So you're interested in looking how my ancestors coming from, right? So the genealogies usually do study and research and history, family history, but also currently there's a new area in genealogy is more like using DNA, right? So it's more like it's less linked to more like health informatics, health. So yeah, so these all needs the skill, the basic skill of MSIS, MSLS, which coming back to the organization, traditional reference, and so we call it information discovery and information organization. And so these are actually three core courses in the MSIS program. So introduction, which is 5,000. You need to take at least 5,000, 5,600, and 5,200, which is 5,600, as I mentioned, information discovery. So traditionally we call it reference. So we have this core knowledge. You can, if you're interested, you can compare with the American Library Association, ALA. There's accreditation standard with 7 competencies. I don't want to bore you with this, but one of all of them fit one of the areas, and one area is like a research, and then like so you need to have all the core knowledge. Yeah, so I'm going back to, so these are the more information and science. So next time I will add more library. But for libraries, to survive in the libraries, I advise you to engage in library science in addition to all this tech, all those IT, user design. Library science, a lot of them focus on the human-to-human management area. And so we do have a certificate of library advanced management certificate. So that including your the basic library management courses and also advanced management, finance. So you get a training on this. So you can actually certificates that we call the stackable certificate. So you get let's say 12-hour certificate and another certificate with a digital archiving, and you can do two of them. And then you take a core courses, which is 9 hours, and you take elective. So all those certificates can look like standalone degrees. And then these are certificates, 9 hours or 12 hours, adding together and make it the 36 hours. And then these are the, and when you graduate, you get an MLS degree diploma in your hand. At the same time, you also get certificate. They look like a diploma. They're printed by our graduate school, and then they're just like diploma. And these can also be used if you already have an MS degree, and let's say you graduate with a general degree, or you graduate with a school library certificate, and then you want to do digital archive. Now you definitely can just work for the certificate and get that diploma. So it's your upskill idea. So basically you make yourself more marketable with additional skill. Some libraries you work, they do have continuing education requirements, and some libraries that people work, they also get funded support from the libraries. Yeah, so grad track is an option for people to complete BS toward MS within 5 years. 5 years, I have to say, is kind of estimate, because well, you got to complete 120 hours for bachelor's degree at UNT, and then 36 hours for master's degree. And I'm going to mention later a little bit the 36 hours. Some people may consider it 39 hours. So for those of you consider us, I'll let you put this in her, let you explain later. So they can cross over the last semester with 6 hours, or you do summer, 9 hours. So basically your undergraduate last year count toward your master's degree. So, and then you finish your master's in summer within a year. So that's a lot of plan. At the same time, I don't have slides, but you can also do what they call a flyover. So that's even amazing. So many of us think, oh, PhD is not mine, but PhD actually we open to people with undergraduate degree. So that's what I did. So I had two bachelor's degree. I joined in UNT 99, and then I was working for my master's. And so I did get it in 1 year. At the same time, the professor says, oh, you can apply. So at that time, I didn't have my master's degree. I already applied and accepted for PhD. So what basically I could, like now, you could finish everything in 60 hours, what they call it. At that time was 72 hours. So we reduced it to 60 hours, which means you complete, once you complete 36 hours, right, you continuing. Of course, you need to be admitted first, right? You have to work out like a GRE, and then you have to apply. You have to do write basically like a report. So there's a form on how to apply for a PhD. And of course, your professor, you tell to them, I'm interested. The greatest things to get a PhD after your master's degree is you are so marketable. You have, with this degree, you can work anywhere in the United States and also globally. With this, you can be a professor. You're teaching in Singapore. You want to teach in Hong Kong. And I have a professor. I have professor in China. I have a professor. You graduate a professor in Middle East and Saudi Arabia. We have our recent graduate and also a teaching fellow, teaching assistant Habib. He's right now is in, I think it's like a very important information, like a minister of in Saudi Arabia. He's like super. So he was a TA just like us, taking classes. So think about this, okay? So you're getting your master's degree and PhD at the same time. Is that amazing? So you graduated and you have an option. You said, okay, I'm not interested in teaching, which is unfortunately, but it's I'm interested in industry. Go for it. You get industry, you get $250,000 a year, you get your stocks and option, and you hypothetically retire in 35. That's all a whole plan. People do this, and we also have our and I also have a graduates like come back and donate money for us. So that's perfect. And also, with my MS degree slash PhD, to be or PhD, and you can also work toward PhD. And then you say, okay, I want to be administrator. So you work as a dean or chair, chair in a major library, and like at University of Houston, University of Texas, Texas Tech, and many of those places, Baylor and those, they don't have MS, the library science degree, right? So they have to hire people like from us to be their deans, their directors, or they already work in places like a top research university like a Baylor or Texas A&M, and these are alumni, so they have to get a degree from us. So yeah, you can looking for management position, and to me, it's very unfortunate because we want all of you to be a professor, and so you will teach. That's a passion. But hey, you want a management. These are with MSLS or MSIS only. That also many places that's a minimum to be the chair, a director, a manager. So that a lot of students going to that direction, right? So already mentioned the grad track, so I'm not going to spend more time. So again, this is our ranking. I'm not going to bore you with the degree itself, right? But I do have links. Actually, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go this. Oh, okay. I do have a link. Show you later the degree, detailed degree plan, the concentrations, and etc. And also give you a link, give you information for advising team. So, student life, it is a top priority for us for our student success, right? So, once you hear either residential or online, by the way, our degree you can get it fully online for master's degree, so you can complete it fully online. But at the same time, I highly encourage you to participate in ACES and LISA, and another new program is called HISO, Health Informatics Student Organization. The reason is, if you just get a master's degree, you complete 36 hours, you do a practicum, for example, or you work in a library, you get a practicum waiver. When you apply for a new job, you're just one line, one stack, one piece of resume in the stacks. People don't know you, right? So, and you all know in reality is people always hire people they know, right? So that's just a reality, business, and you watch. So by getting involved in places like a student association and professional organizations like a Texas Library Association, TLA, ALA, and or conduct faculty research, because many of the faculty researchers, they're funded by industry, and the student went straight to places like a Dr. Dean's for a student, for example, and they go directly to Capital One, Deloitte, and so we have students like went directly to industry, not because you get 4.0 GPA, and we all know universally in the United States, the graduate program, because you have to have a B plus, right? Have the B or A. For having a 4.0 does not mean you'll get a top job. So that's for sure. So you need to get the community as a student officer, you right now at the department, Dr. Anna Rochley is a faculty advisor, so we kind of rotate. So you run, for example, a student career program, right? It's a virtually, but you contact a place, a university you're really interested and you want to know, so you know the person, I'm an officer, you connected. Boy, that was like immediately people already know you, right? So be active in the program, regardless you're online or remote, right? So so we have all the program like Lisa. At the same time, be involved in the college level, for example, mentoring program. We have a Dr. Yvonne Chandler mentoring program, and that is connected a student who's alumni. So you not only get your degree, you're already being supported by a team of previous networking, right? So you get a career services advice, you get interview skills. And I was in TLA, Texas Library Association, a few years ago with actually Dr. Chandler too. She was our faculty on law librarianship program. And so Dr. Chandler was awesome. And so it was two TAs, and I remember this. By the way, if you're interested in law library, go to Dr. Sarah Ryan had a link over there, and then so all those faculty names you can find in our degree in our website, and which I do have a website to show you. And then we have two students coming in. The example would be they were going to meet the top law firm to be the legal assistant. By the way, legal assistant pay 5 years ago, I know they paid $75,000. So that's a some need your JD, some do not. Okay, so it's not always. So JD is a law degree. So those and Dr. Chandler looking like, you guys go back, and so those are students that were ready for an interview with Jeans, right? And then we were talking about the law firm. So so there are some interview skills that you're not being taught by 36 hours degree. And a lot of times is mentoring, purely mentoring, So the story with the student actually had to change like a professional suit and everything. No, you don't like just wear jeans. Definitely not to professional. So these are like we can ignore. I had my colleague when I was in back in a friend when we were back in PhD, we're looking for jobs at ASIS and Elise. I have someone like boy, he was wearing it's a computer science background. He's wearing like it's a jeans, like it wasn't like looking, and there's no, there's like, yeah, I saw it, so go back and get my sport jacket and everything. So that's just the adequate, right? So you're being trained. I talked about scholarships. For the spring students, we have very limited scholarships. There's only one is the College Information Fund, UNT Foundation scholarships. So they are another scholarship we do not advertise, but I want to mention over here is for very special condition with the students with the sudden needs, like they had, let's just say we had a one time the student has the fire, or they have medical reason. You get to seek support, but also we have some donor, they give some emergency fund money for our students. So the student can sustain during time. We also give them like a money management and all those background. And these are also the service that are available at the UNT, like testing and counseling, and UNT also career center. So Anna Moss, very, very important. Okay, so get a chance to talk to her. If you are an international student, she'll be the person, the go-to person. She tells you where the career fair is, where the your paid internship, and how to do networking, give you all the mentor. So everything. She is fantastic. She's wonderful. Her office also in Discovery Park. many of you, if you visit us before, Discovery Park, and yeah, she also helps you a lot of things. Did I mention the suit up? Yeah. So yeah, so that's our kind of support we have. So we have an advising team, so work with them, and they'll tell you, they hand hold you with a degree plan. They also use a software that able to track, and we can share the question you have, and so it's before you're becoming our students, they already, so your prior pre-admission, admission, admitted, and then you're then working toward the degree plan. They are taking care of this.